35 years ago, my grandpa took me to a local trout fishery just up the road from where my mum and dad lived, and this was my first experience at fly fishing. Having fished the local farmers' pits, catching crucian carp, rudd and roach with my coarse fishing gear, the opportunity to go out fly fishing to start off with was pretty daunting. I think it took me over 12 months to learn how to cast and to catch my first trout on the fly. Once I'd experienced that, I was hooked. For 35 years, I've fly fished, and one of the reasons is that you come to beautiful venues like this, absolutely stunning. You see some beautiful parts of the UK's countryside. And it's the opportunity to catch beautiful rainbow trout, brown trout, grayling, and now other species on the fly. One of the things I like about fly fishing is you don't need loads of gear. So today at Lechlade, brought a couple of rods, 7-weight rods. I'm going to start with a 9-foot 6/7 weight, and I'm going to fish an intermediate line. Start at the top and work my way down and try and find out where these fish are. So most modern day rods, 4 pieces come in a nice tube like that, and nice bits of kit. You can fish moving off this tree, last sort of 5 or 10 minutes, a little bit of cover. So hopefully they'll stay there in a short period of time and get tackled up. So generally when I'm setting up, always start at the tip, work my way down to the handle, push the sections together, twist them in place just so it grips a little bit tighter. Fish behind. And then I'm going to start on what we call a slime line, clear intermediate line. Fish may have had a little bit of pressure over the weekend, so just going to start with something not so in your face line wise. So the reel's on now, just going to loosen the drag. There's some real big fish in here. There's some quality fish just rising off this tree here. So just loosening that drag before I start. Pulling off 3 or 4 metres of fly line, and then we get tackled up. I always find just doubling the end of that fly line over just helps me take that fly line up through those rod rings, and then the slack line I've pulled out, I just pull until it tightens up to the reel. So fishery rules state £10 breaking strain minimum, so we're going to start on some fluorocarbon, £10 breaking strain. So I keep it dead simple, no fancy knots, don't loop to loop connect, just do a blood knot, twist whatever I'm tying to so it puts plenty of turns on, tag back for the loop, back on itself again, wet it, pull it in tight. Nick that little bit of waste off, check it again, yep, and off we go. People often talk about how long a lead to use. Generally speaking, 9-10 foot with this sort of setup. I'm searching the water to start off with, so I don't go anything crazily long. I've got a slime line, clear line on, so I don't really need to go massively long. Plus I want my flies to stay with that fly line. So I've probably gone, using the rod as a guide there, taking the fly line to the tip, foot or so past, so probably 10-11 foot leader, nothing massive. I always think there's 3 ways of catching a trout. One is matching the hatch, one is aggression, and the other one is curiosity. So I'm going to see if I can trigger a curious response. So I'm going to start with a sort of cat variant, little fritzy pattern, white tail, fritzy body, a little bit of flashing. So just getting the fly wet to start off with, having a look in the clarity of the water to see what it looks like. So the other thing I'm looking at is how quick that fly sinks. So just to gauge me how long it takes to sink about a foot, and I'm counting that down now, and that fly's probably just dropped to a foot, 8 to 10 seconds, and it's down a foot. So I've got a bit of an idea as to where I need to be depth wise, counting down when I put the fly in. So I'm not going to cast a long way to start off with, keep it nice and short, and off we go. Okay, a little bit of pace to what I'm doing, see if I can trigger an aggressive response, can I get the fish to follow and chase? And again, just sort of following up, I can see that fly coming. Yeah, nothing there. Yes, yes, we're in. Just a little bit further, it looks a good fish as well. It feels like it could be a brown, it could be. There's a lot of head banging going on. There's some quality browns in here. He's off now, he's woke up now. This is why you need some fairly good twang. Look at the flipping bend in that rod. This fish has woke up now. Managed to get him out. See if we can coax him into open water. Yes, big rainbow. It's a big rainbow. Yes! Whoa, look at that. What a fish. What a fish. But what are we, 15 minutes in to the session today, and we've got a quality Lechlade rainbow. This is what we've come for. One of these quality Lechlade chunky rainbows. Look at the stripe on that. And that's the beauty about fly fishing. Even after all these years, 35 years of winging a fly out, coming here, and that line goes tight, you know it's going to be something special. And that is a special fish. I'm always watching that tip, watching that loop of line. Obviously feeling for takes on the finger as well, but watching it. So when I stop, that line just lifts and something's taking it on the drop. And it dropped right down this time. Since the sun's popped up, the number of fish showings just dramatically dropped. Trout, they don't like that bright sun. Visual feeders, visual hunters. I'm not saying that, this one just moved there. Yeah, one more cast and I think we're going to move. I think what's interesting so far in this sort of first half an hour, 3/4 an hour, is that nothing's followed it tight in. Fish are caught, it's on the sort of second or third pull back. So it might be a day where maybe the fish just want it still static a bit further out, don't know. There's not been a lot sort of, there hasn't been anything following it right in. Time for a move, Alex. I like fly fishing because you're after them and it's a game, and I like that. I like the challenge of trying to work out what those fish want, what fly they want, what depth they're at, how they want it moved back, and sometimes you can work that out pretty much straight away. Other times it takes you the best part of the day to work out what those fish are after. The power of the fight and the take is something that you need to experience. It's absolutely magical. That take, the first take I had on a fly all those years ago, still sticks with me now. And even now, coming to places like Lechlade, like we are here today, you know that when that line goes tight, it's going to be a fish of a lifetime. I've been fortunate enough to fish across most of the UK and abroad, but the mainstay of our fly fishing in the UK is places like this. And what better way to spend a winter's day in some beautiful, stunning countryside in the Cotswolds.
Absolutely chuffed, made up. Haven't weighed it yet, but we think it's a good double. Lechlade rainbow, absolutely chuffed. It smashed my PB, but by at least double. So made up on the floating line, nice long leader. This is exactly why we come to Lechlade for big trout. Andy's had a couple of nice ones, an absolute belt of a brownie. So we've started well, and the fish are still moving, the top in, the sun's staying off a little bit, so it's helping us with the fishing. So yeah, hopefully a few more to come. I'll tell you now, I'm absolutely made up. I'm more buzzing with this than actually a nice 30-pound carp, to tell you the truth. It's just big trout like this. You go out for a day in the colder months, and you've really got to work for it, find the fish, find what depth they're feeding at. And when you do catch one of this size, after the fight you put up, it's nothing better. Absolutely made up. Look at that, belter.
Good man.
Well chuffed. 2
quality fish from Lechlade. You're not going to get a better stamper fish than these.
I'm still in shock, mate. Can't believe I've just come to Lechlade and absolutely smashed my PB.
On a blue flash damsel,
On a blue flash damsel.
Hey, my word.
I was told that's the one.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd give it a go.
Right.
Buzzing.
I reckon we get these in the bass bag and we'll go out there and see if we can pick a real big fish up.
Nice.
Yeah.
A real big fish?
Yeah, a real big one.
Right, you join me with Freddie, the fishery ranger down at Lechlade. So mate, tell me a bit about what you do and you fished it for quite some time before.
So sort of been fishing here for the past sort of 2-3 years.
Nice, nice.
Got the job down here in sort of November, so been down sort of just over a month.
Wow, okay. So fresh in post.
Yeah, but it's not a bad office, not a bad job.
No, it's great.
Sort of really enjoy it. So yeah, sort of in the morning, sort of wake up and sort of go around the farm and sort of make sure that everything's all sort of alive and kicking.
Yeah.
Which is all good, and then sort of cleaning screens off. And
so you greet anglers at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
that's what time you open in the shop.
So after I've done my rounds, come in the shop and greet all the anglers,
Fantastic.
make sure they're all sort of going over and tell them what flies they need for the day.
Tactics, which is always important. So you're the man to know.
It's always good. Yeah, I like sort of walking around the lakes as well and having a chat with the people, because it goes a long way. Just walking around, having a chat with people.
Yeah.
You know what people are catching on, and then it's sort of you can tell the other people. It's great for the new people.
Definitely. I was just going to say that you got your experts, but the people that are coming into the sport, they just need that extra, support. And you just walking around is fantastic, and it will help no end doing that.
Yeah, because when I first came down here, it was sort of I'd not fished here before, and it was always sort of with Charlotte in the shop. It was always good, sort of having saying like try this fly or that one, or go a bit deeper, and it does help.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. And you took Alex round the fish farm earlier.
Yeah, showed him the nice brownies and showed him a bit of the feeding.
It's brilliant. It's so interesting as well. And you took me round there earlier, which I'm grateful for, because it opens your eyes. It's brilliant, and how you get them from that sort of size to that size in quite, well, you said 6 months.
Yeah,
it's
so we
phenomenal.
get them in at sort of £2, £2.5 in sort of 6 to 8 months. We'll sort of get them up to sort of near doubles.
Wow.
And then if we want some of those really big fish, we'll keep them in a bit longer.
Really big fish. I mean, doubles big. But
well, you saw some of those fish down there, and they're sort of one's probably pushing that £20 mark down there, which we're looking forward to getting. People will catch that.
So what you're saying is, if you want a big fish, a trout, big trout, you want to come to Lechlade.
Yeah. Well, we're sort of known for it, aren't we?
Yeah, of course.
You come down here, and on Lechlade, it's sort of our minimum stocking size is typically sort of 6 to 8 pounds. So you're not going to be catching much more than 6 pounds. So that's why in the shop we say £8 leader is a minimum.
Absolutely, and you can understand why.
It is for a reason.
Yeah, it's epic.
Yeah.
So no, I've really enjoyed my day down here, and I really appreciate your time, and you've come round and spent time with us. So it's been phenomenal, man.
No problem. Well,
Thank you very
glad
much.
you all had a good day and had a few nice fish. I saw those browns you had out, and that was a nice fish.
Yeah. Well, we've got about an hour left, so I'm hoping to get one of those myself.
Yeah.
So,
well, hopefully you'll get one of those bigger ones as well.
Fantastic. Brilliant, mate.
Perfect.
Lovely.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers.
Right, here we are at the pre-lunch weigh-in. See if Pete has actually got a double-figure rainbow. So just inside the weighing lodge at Lechlade. He's going to drop them on the scales. We've got to add 8 ounces apparently, based on what it says on that sign there. So go on, Pete, drop her on.
See what it goes.
he's done it. He's done it.
So
10.5.
10.5 plus 8.
8.
So yeah, it's just up around the 11, isn't it? Just under 11, isn't it?
10.13.
10.13. Yeah.
Not 11.
Happy days.
10.13. Well done. Good angling.
Thank you very much. Buzzing with that.
Right.
What a fish.
So we're just going to drop on first fish I caught this morning. And that one, 7.3 plus the 8 ounces is 7.11.
Nice. Another
and then the big brownie. Will it go to £10? That's the question. So here it goes. 9.2 and 8 ounces, £9.10. Nearly a double figure fish. But
still, mate, that's an epic brown trout, isn't it?
Yeah. 3 good fish for a few hours this morning. So a quick bite to eat, changing tactics. Let's see if we can find a double this afternoon. Let's go.
So fly fishing for me has been a big part of my life. Yes, I'm an avid carp angler, and I also like my sea fishing. Started out carp fishing at the age of 10, well, coarse fishing and carp fishing, and a friend of mine said, why don't we try some trout fishing? And I think I was about 12, 13 years old. Didn't have any equipment, but fortunately a fishery down in Devon, Newhouse Fishery, it was my first place to go trout fishing, and used to be able to hire equipment and things like that. So yeah, it was really, really enjoyable, and then it sort of stayed with me really. And yeah, as much as I do my carp fishing from sort of March right the way through to say the end of October, through the winter, you know, you get that sort of small window of light. You know, first light starts at about 8 o'clock, which we witnessed this morning, and to about sort of 3:30, 4 o'clock. So there's nothing better than to get a fly rod, some flies, it's light, 2 rods, and you can just wander around, catch a couple of fish, and it's just such a, you know, enjoyable way to go fishing and enjoy a day. And yeah, it's tactics, and it keeps you sharp. It also helps, I believe, with your carp fishing as well, because the watercraft, you have to, you know, study the water. You're actively looking and, you know, finding the fish. So yeah, it's trout fishing for me has been a big part, and I love it. And I would recommend it to anyone that hasn't done it. Don't be put off with the equipment, because it's not expensive. Venues do hire as well, so you can sort of try before you buy. And get out there and just bring a mate and have a great day's fishing, and trust me, you'll enjoy it.